But first of all, happy Black History Month, happy Lovers Month. It's me, Amma B, and I'm here with a reading vlog of some of the Black romances that I plan on reading this month. I'm so excited. On the first half, I'm going to try to read as many Black romances as I can. But what's so crazy is that Kennedy Ryan's second installment of the Skyland series, This Could Be Us, is not really a romance. It is almost the opposite. The main character, Soledad, is going through so much, and I'm so glad nobody spoiled it for me, so I don't plan on spoiling it for you. But what I think is so crazy is kind of the realization of like loss of self that she's kind of going through in all of the things that she's facing. She's facing so much adversity, like back to back to back, to the point where like I'm like screaming on the inside. And I almost wish that I saved this, but as you guys know, I don't read a whole lot of contemporary romance. I'm more of a paranormal romantasy girl, but I'm so happy I picked this up. Even though it doesn't reflect, you know, my life right now, what I love so much about Soledad's character is that I feel such deep empathy for her. Like I'm one of her friends. And what I love about that is that you know that Kennedy Ryan can really flesh out a character, because all of this crazy stuff is happening. And it's almost like if you've ever read like Demon's Dream, like that's just unhinged, right? But like crazy unhinged things are happening to this character, but because she is such a proud and kind of fleshed out person, it's so easy to imagine not necessarily this happening to somebody, but this being how a person would react if this happened. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 26% through. Excuse me. If you're interested in following my reading journey, make sure you guys follow me on Goodreads. It's linked down in my description box. And I always try to keep it updated as I read, and anytime I think about it, whenever I am in a stopping point where I want to talk, I usually give some of my thoughts throughout most books. So you can find that on my profile. This is so crazy. I'm really trying this month to read 7 books. So my goal is to read about 100 pages a day. And I think that's a really good idea because this is almost 400 pages. Yeah, this is almost 400 pages. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see how this goes. I probably am going to go over the 100 pages because it's so good. I forced myself to stop last night, but I might hit 150. I don't know, but it's literally such a good read, and it's like heart-wrenching. So I'm really enjoying it as much as I can enjoy it, but I'm just loving how this character is kind of rediscovering her voice again, and I'm just so proud of her. But anyways, what are you guys reading right now? I'm trying to read this, and there's another YA book called For All Time. That's about a couple that keeps being reincarnated in different lives, and essentially they never get to see themselves be together because of, you know, extenuating circumstances, usually violence or whatever's happening in the time. But in the present time, they can be together. So I'm excited to read that. I haven't pulled that out just yet, but I did talk about it on my library book haul that I am attaching right here. So if you're interested in watching it, make sure you check it out. But yes, if you have read any of Kennedy Ryan's book, the Skyland series is this is the second book I've ever read by Kennedy Ryan. I started Real, but I didn't finish it. So let me know any of your suggestions that you have. I do want to check out the Grip series and Long Shot. Those are the 2 books that I want. Those are the 2 series that I want to check out from Kennedy Ryan, because she's just so loved and highly rated. And even though I don't read a lot of contemporary romance, she's just such a good writer. Like, she's just such a good writer. Like, I love it. She's an author. That is like the author's author. Like, she's that girl. But anyways, I will keep you guys updated as I move through this. So once I've read my page allotment of the day, I'll probably pick up another book before I get to work. But yeah, crazy times. Y'all, I'm crying. Judah Cross Okay. Okay. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going to try. There's some autism representation in here, and one of the characters that has autism really loves Rubik's cubes, and the Rubik's cube that he really wants is sold out. He's having a freak out in the store, and his dad is calming down. I'm literally crying. His dad is calming him down, and it just I'm having like these overwhelming feelings. I don't even know if I want to tell you guys this. I'm having these overwhelming feelings because me and my fiance just found out, well, not just, but I'm pregnant. And this man, as a father, like, God knew. God knew who I was supposed to be with. That's why nothing ever worked out before. But like, this man's persistence and patience and like sole focus on his son is just so heartwarming. And I'm pregnant, so I'm emotional. But this moment, it just literally reminds me of my honey bun, because he's just so strong and gentle at the same time. And I love that. I love that so much. And he's so aware of what it looks like to the outside world, but he's looking at his son, he's like, he's mine. Like, ah! I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. I'm crying. But I don't know. Kennedy Ryan just does this thing where it's like, these people are your friends. These people are your community. You literally know these people. Like, you can't, like, you literally know these people. These people are people you know and care about. And there's something about the characterization in these books that just, it hits every time. I'm sorry, I'm screaming, but I just had to share that. Okay, bye. Page 145. Girl. And why did Kennedy Ryan just reply back to me on Threads? I'm literally having such a great day. I'm so glad I started my day reading this beautiful book. Literally love her. Literally. I don't know how I want this to end. I know I'm so proud of my girl Soledad. I know I am so proud of my girl Soledad. I know that I am so proud of my girl Soledad, but Juna Cross? Girl, she's got some personal restraint that I might not learn about until motherhood. Okay? Because this man, he's got one more time to be dreamy and one more time to be loving towards those sweet boys before I'm like, Soledad, lock in. Put your seatbelt on. Lock in, sis. Woo, goodness gracious. Well, it is what it is. Let's go make a matcha so that I can get my mind right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Kennedy Ryan, I love you. I love you, sis. Between you and me, I got access to the newest arc of Can't Get Enough, which is the third installment of the Skyland series, which is right after This Could Be Us. So I was just so excited to get it started. And what's so funny is that, like, I low-key got into a reading slump after reading this because it was just so good. I didn't want to go into another world. You guys know how much I love fantasy. And I kind of think sometimes that's why I don't read as much Kennedy Ryan, is because you don't want to go anywhere else but her world. You know what I mean? And I almost have to read a book that I've read before to be able to get back into the groove of things. But the reason I wanted to talk about this series is because I know that Valentine's Day can be such a, like, literal gambit of crazy feelings for people. And I think this book is really great, especially if you're coming out of a long-term relationship, you haven't been in a long-term relationship in a while, and you just want to get reacclimated with yourself. This is a beautiful book to do it. Now, I will say, nobody prepared me for how this book just moved. Like, it moved. Like, the second you think you know something, something even crazier happens, plus the thing you think you know. So what I really love about this character is that you literally just see her stand up. Like, you literally see her go from being a stay-at-home mom to building an empire using her influence on social media, and that's so difficult. Like, she is in a well-to-do neighborhood. She's got to keep up with the mortgage. She's got to keep up with her children's tuition. They go to private school, and it's just such a beautiful display of all of the things that help a woman come back to herself. You know, her mother, I will share this with you. Her mother is no longer living, and something that she did when she really felt helpless or alone is kind of go through her mother's things. And I think that was the piece that really brought this book back up, because her mother had a copy of All About Love, and one of the things that she started on her social media was a book club where they all read the same book, and this book came up numerous times. And I love that about Kennedy Ryan, because you can tell how much she loves not only writing but the craft of writing, because the thoughts, especially from a Black woman, in this particular book will really help you reframe some things in your life. And something that I really love about these books tandem is that, you know, this is a nonfiction book. It is a host of essays that a famous feminist Black author wrote, that really digs into what is actually feminism. It's not just, you know, women hating men or anything like that, but actually a deep dive into what it looks like for there to be equity between genders in all different ways. And that includes love and how we view ourselves, how we're told we're allowed to love ourselves or express ourselves. And something that I find really beautiful in this is that even though there were a lot of things, harmful things that were done to her throughout her previous relationship, she took accountability for kind of accepting them. And it's not so much that she deserved to be abused or treated badly, but at what point was she going to love herself enough to make a different choice? So I wanted to talk about these books because I'm also on my Kindle. Let me put that up for you, girl. I'm also currently reading on my Kindle, Can't Get Enough. And what I like about that is how much the main character loves herself, but she's kind of almost in an opposite position, because she needs to start thinking of her aging mother who has dementia. And because she's lived a life not necessarily centered around herself, but concentrated on her goals and what she needs to do, and it's not been attached to kids, a man, you know, certain things. It's so interesting to kind of see the reverse. And personally, that's kind of been my journey with, you know, in life. Like, I went from the rich, unattached auntie to like somebody who fell, you know, high from my pedestal. I got fired from my job. I was bouncing around to different industries, and then I fell in love with somebody, and then, like, all of these things happened as I was learning to stand up for myself and figure out what is it that I actually want, what is it that I need in life. And ultimately, why I love these series is that they're not only these beautiful love stories about gentle and penetrating love, but they also show that you can't have a love worth having without learning yourself. And that includes learning yourself in every iteration. There is no time where you're done learning yourself. You know what I mean? And I was talking to my mom about that yesterday. It's so funny. I was saying, you know, your 20s are like 3 or 4 different decades at once, but I know that every decade is like that. There's like so many lives that you live within your teens, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and how you never stop learning yourself. You never stop growing. And there's a point where it's not so much that you stop learning yourself, but you just accept yourself, even when you learn something new, even when it seems shocking, even when it's hard to hear. There just comes a time in your life where you know, by hook or crook, whether it's something happening to you externally or something that happens to you internally, you just learn like all of it is true and none of it makes me less. All of it makes me worthwhile. You know what I mean? So love these books, highly recommend them. The first in this Skyland series is Before I Let Go. I talked a little bit about that, I believe, previously. Then there's This Could Be Us, and coming out May 2025 is Can't Get Enough. Highly recommend. I'm only like 4 chapters in, but I am absolutely loving it. Definitely is giving Forbidden Love. Excuse me. Definitely is giving Forbidden Love, which I'm loving, because we also got a little bit of that in This Could Be Us, and I'm just loving it. Like, I just love seeing Black women love themselves and be loved gently because of it. So highly recommend. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.